Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM. We are delighted you could join us. All our programs are video streamed through YouTube and Google+. We would like you to please visit our YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have close to 1,000 videos accenting our experience here in the United States. We also have a Facebook page, which is Triple N Media, and we would like you to please visit our Facebook page and like it. In the Facebook page, we bring you the latest buzz from around the world, and we would like you to please do like our Facebook page. Today, we have a special guest who is multi-talented. She is an engineer, she is a dance teacher, she is a singer, she is master of ceremonies, and much more. And we're going to find out a lot about her in the next several minutes. And my special guest is LAKSHMI Peter. Hello, LAKSHMI.
Hi.
Welcome to Triple N Talk Show. I'm delighted to have you.
Thank you so much.
And we are looking forward to a nice discussion here. Okay, let's give us a little bit about your background.
My name is LAKSHMI Peter, as you introduced me ever so kindly. I'm an engineer by profession, and I'm also running a dance and music academy here in Houston. We're about 4 years old now in Houston, and gearing up to do our annual show for this year. It's the fourth one in a row right now, so I'm very excited about talking about that. It's under a nice, unique theme. And Houston is a very multicultural city, so I do a lot of other events around town as well, and I've just been enjoying myself ever since I've been in Houston.
That's wonderful. I see you were also in a beauty contest. Tell us about your beauty contest experience.
Yeah, it was just very coincidental. There was a Miss Malayali beauty contest organized recently by the Federation of Malayali Associations. It was in Miami earlier this year, and I was there on a business conference, and when my friends told me about the beauty contest, I just entered. It had 3 different rounds, and a fashion round, a talent round, and an introduction round where they asked you kind of questions about your views in life and your personality and things like that. So yeah, I was lucky enough to win. It was great exposure for me as an artist and a person as well, and it was a lot of fun.
That's fascinating. So you were selected as Miss...
Yes, I won the title for this year. So I'm the reigning Miss Malayali Queen for this year, I guess.
This is for throughout the United States?
Yes, it's a national competition.
Oh, national competition. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the most interesting experience you had from this
beauty contest?
Yeah.
Well, it was very ingrained in the Malayali culture. So throughout the competition, you had to speak in the regional language,
is that right?
which is a bit challenging for me because I never grew up in India. I grew up in the Middle East.
I see.
And then later I moved to America for school and work. So for me, introducing myself, because I think in English it was definitely a challenge, translating it all in my head. But then, through the competition, you kind of got a hang of it. Yeah. And the judges were also very, journalists, social activists, very much into the Indian and in the Malayali culture as well. So their questions were also definitely, in tune with that mentality. So I had to definitely think from their perspective as well. And I guess that was a very interesting challenge.
So had you entered into any contest before?
Yes, I was also crowned a Miss Bollywood USA last year, 2015.
Oh, is that right?
Not crowned, I was the first runner-up actually.
I see,
There was another young lady who was crowned. That was also a very interesting competition, something that I entered just out of curiosity, but it was a lot of exposure. We met a lot of good fashion designers, ramp walk choreographers, some good event managers in the city, and it was great.
That's good. So you've done fashion shows also?
Yeah, I've been involved in fashion. I'm not an active model, but I do a lot of print ads. Back in India, I've done some print modeling for hoardings and print ads and things like that. It's always an interesting experience.
What was the most challenging thing doing this beauty contest?
Well, you have to kind of cater to the title of the contest itself. So, if it's about women empowerment, you kind of have to talk about. You have to be ready to talk about those kind of issues.
Yeah.
You have to be pretty well read. You have to be very eloquent in how you speak. At the same time, you have to be conscious of how you look as well. So it's like a mix of different aspects.
They expect women to be forward going, but at the same time they want you to be sort of having this conservative
correct
appeal,
especially in an Indian beauty contest.
Yes.
You cannot be too over the top either.
That's right.
You have to be kind of demure and things like that. At the same time, you have to have the confidence to walk out there on your own.
Maybe since your name is Lakshmi, they expect people to be like
yeah, true. I have
like
a very
true to our culture and heritage.
Yes, that's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and my special guest is LAKSHMI Peter, who is Mrs. Malayali. What do they call this? Manka?
Oh, it's actually a miss, and Malayali Manka means Manka means a lady or a girl.
Oh, I see. Okay,
who has all those traditional qualities. It's a Malayalam word.
I see.
Yeah.
So, and we are talking about her beauty contest and many more things. Okay, let's talk about your dance program, your dance training and all this.
Yes, so I was trained in the Bharatanatyam traditional school called Kalakshetra. They are based in Chennai.
I see, yeah.
So I've been training for years from that school. I met my guru back in the Middle East where I was growing up, I continued my education by visiting Chennai back and forth.
So how long were you in Chennai, or you just visited?
Well, I kept visiting. 2 years I lived there continuously. After my high school, I lived there for 2 years, and while I was pursuing my engineering as well. And then after that, it's always been a back and forth because the gurus are kind enough to travel to where you are also at times. So I continued my education there. I've been performing, and then after high school, I've been teaching more like a freelancer. And then after I moved to Houston, I kind of started the academy.
That's fascinating. So where is your academy located?
It's in Stafford, right on 90 and Main. And it's right there next to all the Desi, grocery stores and the Desi restaurants. So it's a great prime location, which I've luckily got. And it's a nice, calm, creative space for the kids as well. So,
I had several students and teachers who have been involved with Bharatanatyam. Is Bharatanatyam different in different regions of India, like Kerala or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or something like that?
Yeah, there are different schools. Well, Bharatanatyam, Bharata means obviously Indian and Natyam is dance. So it's supposed to be universal throughout India. The principles are same. It comes from the same book of dance called Natya Shastra. So it's basically probably 97-98% the same. But certain big gurus kind of, migrated to different areas like Chennai, Tanjore, even up in the north, even Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, those areas. So they brought in a little bit of their flair as well, but it hasn't changed the grassroots of it at all. Maybe a few hand gestures, maybe a few techniques, like some are a little bit more focused on the footwork, while others are more on the expression on the face and things like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a Triple N talk show. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Triple N Talk Show. I'm Dr. NIK NIKAM, and my special guest is LAKSHMI Peter, who is multi-talented, and all our programs are video streamed through YouTube and Google+. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have close to 1,000 videos and 1.2 million views. In fact, YouTube has cited our channel for excellent community service.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And also we have a Facebook page, which is Triple N Media, where we bring you the latest buzz from around the world, actually. And please do visit our Facebook page and like it. Okay, let's talk about, we talked about your dance, and when do you teach these students?
So, since I have a full-time job, I'm in technology sales. It's a Monday through Friday, pretty busy job. So, it's not technically an 8 to 5 job, very much dependent on business requirements. So, I teach my students mostly in the evenings on Thursdays or Fridays, and the regular classes are from 8 to 5 on Saturdays.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. So that keeps you pretty busy.
Yes, yes. I'm single and I have a lot of time on my hands. So, dance, I definitely don't consider it as work, dance and music. So it's definitely one day for me to just let go and have fun.
So did your dance have anything to do with your beauty contest?
No, not really. It's a completely different thing. But then dance gave me a lot of confidence to face the crowd. That's what I was
trying to get.
Yeah, I've been learning since I was 5, and I was a shy girl to begin with. But then it gave me a lot of confidence to face the crowd, stand on stage, perform individually, and things like that. And that also got me into music. So I sing as well professionally, but because I was so exposed to it as a child, I kind of explored in other areas.
Okay, let's talk about your music then. Did you have a music training?
Yes, I've been trained in Carnatic music.
Carnatic classical music?
Classical music, yes. So I teach that as well at the academy. So it's LAKSHMI Dance and Music Academy.
So you play instruments?
I play the violin, yes, but violin I did not learn it in the Indian classical way. I've learned the Western, so I play the classical, Western style of violin. Yeah.
So is violin sort of the more preferred instrument for Carnatic classical music as opposed to like harmonium in the Hindustani classical music?
Not really. In the Carnatic music, there are 4 or 5 instruments which are a must. One is, of course, the mridangam, which gives you the rhythm for the music.
Yeah.
The violin kind of plays along with the vocalist to just fill up the gaps, more like a guitar. And then harmonium is also sometimes used, but mostly it's a tanpura that's used to give the scale of the music, the shruti as we call it. Yeah. So these are generally considered the must-have. But I chose violin because it's the closest instrument to the human voice.
I see.
So it literally sounds like singing.
Is that right?
Yeah, and you can play along a song much more.
How do you determine where C sharp or high C or E?
Right. So it's where your fingers are placed at which position vertically on the strings. So just like a guitar, the further along you move your fingers, the higher the notes get. Yeah. Correct.
No, but how do you know exactly where the C or C sharp is?
Unlike a guitar, there are no frets on it.
Yes.
So it's just mainly you have to know the spacing. You do it by practice. So that's why violin is also considered the toughest instrument.
That's why I was curious, because even if you're a millimeter away, you may not get the same frequency.
Correct. The notes change. Yeah.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and my special guest is LAKSHMI Peter, who just won the Malayali beauty contest, which was a country-wide, I should say, United States-wide contest. This was in Miami, right?
It was in Miami.
Okay. What kind of music do you... I know you learned Carnatic classical music. What kind of music do you sing?
Well, I sing classical Carnatic music, but then I sing a lot of the Indian movie songs as well. There are a lot of concerts that I held around town in Houston, and earlier this year we did an R.D. Burman tribute concert.
I was there.
Yes, you were there.
In fact, I had Kashmira and Rishabh Naik on our program. We talked about
I know.
That.
So it was a great opportunity. I sang with some amazing singers, and even the orchestra was very, very talented. So I do a lot of such music. I mean, I'm into a lot of different music. As an artist, you have to keep exploring.
That's true.
And, in Western music, I enjoy jazz and blues a lot as well. So that's pretty much what I'm into.
Going from Carnatic classical music to where most of Bollywood is sort of based on Hindustani classical music, did you have to do any change or shifting?
Not really. Well, the basic of music is always the same, sur is sur and tal is tal,
But still, they like all these ragas have certain set of notations which are different from Carnatic.
Well, you can always draw parallels. So if I describe a raga in Carnatic to one of my fellow singers in Hindustani, they can figure out which raga it is. It's just that the name is different.
That's right.
But of course, the andaz, the style of singing is slightly different. But that's why you have to listen a lot. To be a good singer, I would say you have to listen to a lot of music, So I do adapt to the styles a bit. When I sing classical, my voice is a little bit more, raw and louder. But when I sing Bollywood, I try to adapt to the style of the song as well. So you have to be a little versatile as a singer, I would say, as a performer more than anything else. And I guess I've been blessed with that ear.
So compared to Carnatic classical music, I mean, if you listen to like Hindi songs, they are a little more soft and more gentle type of expressions.
True.
Especially the one I think of is like Muhammad Rafi.
Yes.
I mean, he studied Hindustani classical.
Right.
And whereas Carnatic, I guess you have pretty sort of
well, there are, just like Hindustani, in Carnatic as well, there are ragas for different moods.
I see, yeah.
It's the same thing. And if you listen to South Indian movie songs, you will find the same range of emotions in all the songs. There are the romantic ones, aggressive ones, sad ones, the dance ones, numbers, everything is there. But you have to kind of pick the right, raga, and the singer kind of determines the mood of the song as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
See, I grew up in Karnataka, so, I mean, Mysore, so I was subconsciously absorbing Carnatic classical music, and in fact I woke up every morning listening to Venkateshwara Suprabhatra from MS Subbalakshmi.
Correct.
Because there was a Venkateshwara temple in front of our street, so that's how I was by osmosis.
Yeah, true, very true.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and we are talking about Lakshmi Peter, my special guest, who is multi-talented. Okay, let's talk about your, let's say, engineering degree. So where did you do your engineering?
I did my engineering in the University of Kerala, back in India. TKM, College of Engineering is where I went to school. I specialized in electrical engineering.
Oh, I see, yeah. So, given all your dance, your music, your emceeing and all these things, when do you have time for your, which one is your regular job and which one is your hobby?
Right. Well, like I said, I'm professionally an engineer, and I did my MBA as well in HR and marketing.
Is that right?
I've moved into the technology sales side at work. And that's really my full-time job. I started working for a multinational company back in India, and then I moved here. But like I said, I don't consider dance and music as work at all. It's definitely a passion. And even the academy just came to be. It's not something that I consciously just started. A lot of students, even my co-workers, friends, kids of my friends, they expressed an interest to learn, and that's when I started it. And I don't do a lot of sales and marketing even, but then we're about 70 students big now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And it's a modest school, but then I promote the purity of that art form. I want to keep it as pure as it was as taught to me from Kalakshetra, and I keep the style the same as Kalakshetra as well.
That's good. Let's give out your contact information about your school and for your music also, so that if somebody wants to get in touch with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there's a website called www.lakshmidanceacademy.com. The school's location, the different types of classes we offer, everything is on there. You can also email me at info@lakshmidanceacademy.com, or reach out to any one of us, me or my team, at 972-369-9184.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a Triple N talk show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and my special guest is Lakshmi Peter, and all our programs are video streamed through YouTube and Google+, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we also have a Facebook page where we keep you abreast of what's happening from around the world actually, and please do visit our Triple N Facebook page and like it. Okay, let's talk about your upcoming program.
So typically dance schools like to do something like an annual recital. So all the students perform whatever they've learned through the year. It's a great opportunity for little kids to the advanced students to kind of perform. But this year I didn't want to do it like a recital where there is I feel like it's like a goalless performance. So I try to give back to the society through the proceeds of the school. So I support a few education causes for girls back in India. And it's a cause that I believe in a lot. So I wanted to bring in a little bit of that story and that culture into the show as well. And because I'm kind of widely networked across the city, I'm also collaborating with a lot of the local artists as well. So I'm having some of my friends from the fashion industry come in and show off their fashion. Some of my talented colleagues and fellow singers and artists come in and present their skills. And in between all this, the students of the academy are also performing a lot of the dances. So the theme of the show is artwork by Raja Ravi Verma, a renowned South Indian painter. And his favorite muses were women. Mostly Maharashtrian or even Malayali women, because he had Malayali heritage.
I see.
And because it's kind of interlinked with the cause of uplifting women and girls that I believe in.
He's a painter?
He's a painter. He was a painter, and he has beautiful artwork. He was from the royal family of Travancore, and that family encouraged a lot of music and art. So
how did he connect with the Maharashtrian?
Well, I think there was some Maharashtrian heritage in his family as well. And he had extensive music training, for which I think he traveled across Maharashtra, Pune and such cities. So that's where he observed.
Art and music.
Yes, he had both art and music. As most royal families in India, they are into that cultural heritage a lot. So we're having a fashion show that presents these kind of attires, both Maharashtrian and Malayali. Even the choreography is done based on the story. So a lot of his artwork depicts stories like, certain scenes from stories from the Mahabharata or even Bhagavad Gita. So some of the choreographies, because it's classical, I could definitely choreograph it accordingly, and that's what we're presenting. So we're trying to weave the story across. And we're having Mr. Hemang Thakur, another well-known MC in Houston, present the show as well. So I'm very excited to see how it's all going to turn out.
It's going to be wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM, and my special guest is LAKSHMI Peter, and we are talking about her multi-talents from music, Bharatnatyam, to MCing, and also fashion show and beauty contests, and part-time engineering job.
My boss better not hear that it's part-time.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Anything we put on the social media is going to be an open book for employers.
No. I've been very lucky in terms of people at my work also support this passion of mine very, very, eloquently. So I'm always telling my boss, he sees me on TV interviews and, print media all the time. So even though he doesn't speak some of the Indian languages, I try to tell him, what it is. And it's a great brand promotion for the company as well, because we work in IT. So a lot of the talent, the skill in IT is Indian. Or even Southeast Asian, I must say. So it gives a lot of brand promotion for him as well. And it's a dynamic and stressful job, but because I'm into my passion all the time, it keeps me very de-stressed.
That's fascinating. And you said you grew up in where?
I grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And so this is a challenging question, because not only people who grew up outside India, but also like in the United States and all this, they all have the same thing, learning native languages.
Right.
In fact, I have two secretaries. I was asking them, they're Ismailis. I said, "Have you learned the Urdu script?" He said, "No." I said, "Why not?" They said, "Well, they're showing everything in English transliteration."
That's true. Yeah. Well, my father is a writer.
Yeah.
So, and he writes in Malayalam, which is the regional language that I speak at home. So he was very adamant that me and my siblings, we learn our language, properly.
That's fascinating. You are the first person I have seen who says, you're able to write.
I can write. Well, the first time I went back to India was, the last year of high school.
Yeah.
And you have to take public transportation in India, trains, buses, where all the boards and all the signs, it's all in the local language.
Yeah.
So you will get lost if you don't know how to pick it up, So my dad kind of foresaw that.
How did you pick India instead of coming to England or America?
Well, I wanted to continue my dance education as well.
Yeah.
So I had to go back to Chennai, and my dad said, okay, you have to have a professional degree also. So I said, fine, I'll go to engineering school if I can get in, and then I'm going to continue my dance education. That was the deal I cut with him back then, and I'm still like negotiating. But it kind of helped me pick up, a lot of the culture, because Bharatanatyam is so ingrained in that culture. You have to know the traditions and the stories, and I'm kind of glad I learnt it from an authentic school, because right now when my students ask me all these questions, I have answers. I'm not so old that I know all these stories by heart either. It's really from the learning that I got all that stuff. So
a few months ago, I did a documentary on Bharatanatyam.
Wow.
We had Neha Bhatt, who had her Arangetram, and then at that time Indrani Parsarthi, and they came and we did a documentary on it's on our YouTube channel. So
wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can check it out. Then I took like 500 pictures and poses of Bharatanatyam.
Oh wow!
So we incorporated that in the talk shows. So to give especially for somebody who is interested in learning Bharatanatyam, this is a great way to introduce the subject to the people. And
it's becoming a very popular art form as well. So
that's true,
currently I have Latino students, I have Venezuelan students, Chinese students.
Is that right?
And these are adults who have, got exposure to this art form from different areas. Some of them became Hare Krishna devotees, and that's where they learned about the culture, and they joined the school just to increase more exposure. Some of my students are journalists. They traveled to India, saw the dance from there, came back and continued their education.
I think a lot of these things have deep, what I should say, message and also information that we subconsciously absorb. When you're doing dance or music, it's a matter of discipline, because everything has to be in set order.
Absolutely.
Because everything else we do in life is I can do whatever I want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what I tell my students is, the Bharatanatyam is like the ballet of India.
That's right,
and I keep telling them that, the body has a different mind than yourself. You have to keep training the body to do a certain action, and only then does it get comfortable in those positions. So, and I try to teach them the responsibility of being a performer. When people buy tickets and come and sit on a seat in your auditorium, you owe it to them to entertain them for that 1 hour or 2 hour show, or pass on the message that you're on stage for. So, some of the kids, especially the little ones, the 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, they do take it lightly, and it's not their fault. They're so little. But then when you explain it in this perspective, they get very serious about, going up on stage. They do their practice. They don't throw tantrums to their parents. So all the parents really like it when I talk to them at their level, and the parents kind of appreciate it as well.
Absolutely, because I want to expand on that, because when people go to dance or like gymnastics or something, they are learning teamwork, and they're also learning mind and muscle coordination.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because that's not something they're going to teach in math or English.
And I feel like studies also say that if you learn these kind of art forms, it does make you academically superior as well.
Yes.
Because math as well as music, they both have patterns.
That's true. Yes.
So what I tell my students is music is math.
That's
you know how to make the counts. You know how to reduce, subtract, multiply, divide. You get that logic in your brain.
I see with the music, with the math, you're just mentally learning it. But with the music, you're learning with mind and muscle.
Correct.
All coordinated together. Because if you have to sing at a certain rate and 4-beat cycle, then you have to be in that real cycle. Otherwise,
absolutely. And my friends keep telling me, you teach like an engineer. It's the engineer in me. So I'm always drawing patterns and graphs and telling them to stand in a trapezoid position. So, but the students also tend to visualize it more. So I guess every teacher has their own style, and mine is definitely analytical, I would like to say. But the kids tend to be responding quite well to it. In the beginning, I was a little nervous because I didn't know if I would be. I had the maturity to teach, but then I feel like I'm connecting at their level, and the kids definitely are enjoying it.
When you combine art and intellect with creativity, it's not too many people can put all these three pieces together.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Absolutely. Okay, let's give out your information about your upcoming dance program once more.
Right. So the presentation coming up on the 30th of October is called Rang. As I wanted to, dedicate it to the artist Ravi Varma. So colors.
So are we going to have art pieces there, or is
we will have? We will be displaying it. There are a couple of large LED screens that are going to be in the auditoriums. We will be displaying some videos showing the artwork as well, and the comparison that it draws to the dance or music piece on the stage. So it's called The Portrait of an Artist, and we're going to take you through the journey of Ravi Varma. So the event is on October 30th at the Stafford Civic Center, starting at 5:30. It's expected to be a 3-hour show. It's on a Sunday, so we don't want to keep people too late. And the tickets are just like $5 because we want it to be accessible to everyone, even students as well. So a lot of my friends don't want to shell out too much money for an Indian show, which is kind of a novelty for them. So I just want to open it out to everybody, and it's a good community project as well, because the proceeds are going to be donated. So I'm hoping it'll turn out great.
I'm sure it's going to be. Lakshmi, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm delighted to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, please mark your calendars. This is going to be October 30th at the Old Stafford Center on Constitution Avenue. It's on a Sunday starting at 5:30 p.m. and you can visit her website. Let's give out your web address again.
So the website is lakshmidanceacademy.com, or you can just Google Lakshmi Peter and it should just pull up.
That's wonderful. And I'm Dr. NIK NIKAM. You have been watching Triple N Talk Show, and we will see you next time. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and also our Facebook page, Triple N Media. And I didn't want to say this at the beginning of this program, but I just want to let you know Lakshmi Peter is kind enough to be on this program, and she will be the 1000th video of Triple N Media.
Wow, that's a milestone.
That's a milestone.
Great.
And all the 1000 videos have been created by just me.
Wow, wonderful. That's a great initiative by you, Dr. NIK. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. We'll see you. We'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching.